Hello and welcome back to another video, and today I have Mateo over here with me once again. He's going to be showing us his epic, what do you call this deck?
It's just PK Fire, I guess, a more simplified version.
Well, simplified but spicy.
Yeah.
So without further ado, be sure to smash the like button and comment down below what you guys think of the deck, and of course, let's get right into the video. Alright, Mateo, take it.
Okay, let's start off with the monsters in the deck. We start off with triple Torn Scales. This card's really busted in the deck. And it's just really important. It's the new extender. And the fact that you can get free value from it being banished and specialed, and also it getting a cost sent from hand and then another dump is really, really good. Next we go for triple of the boots. So this card is really good because it basically makes it so you don't lose to Ash in certain hands. Like, for example, Torn Scales gets ashed. Since it dumps from hand to a cost, you usually can play through it, but this card kind of guarantees you're going to be able to play it 100% right through it. And yeah, it's really good for that. So that's why we have to run 3 copies of this card, and I would not cut this down any lower. And then the next card, which is cuttable to a smaller amount, is Cloak. Let me get that out of the glare for you guys. So Cloak is actually really, really solid in this deck. At 3, people are cutting it down to 2, but I personally don't agree with that. Just because this card searches every card in your deck, really, every monster in your deck, and gets you a free extender. You can cut it to 2 if you really, really want to make more space, but I really like this card at 3. So then we go on to the double of the gloves. You don't need to run 3 of this card because it's not necessary, and 2 is enough where you're going to be able to grind with it. It just becomes really good because you can dump Torn Scales and then get some extra pluses with it. So yeah, it is really, really good. And then for the last, like the worst PK, is Stained Greaves. It does kind of help in a similar way as Boots. It just does a worse job of it. So, yeah. This card is fine. It's just nothing too special. So yeah, for the PK engine, we aren't running the smallest engine, but the engine that we run is very, very strong, and it helps us to grind a lot. Next, we're going to be moving on to the extenders, and the best extender in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Tour Guide. This card is actually insane. It just, like, it loses to hand traps. This card genuinely loses to hand traps if you don't have any generic extenders, which is why we need to compensate with that by running triple Kagamucha Knight. This is one of the best cards to Chain Block Tour Guide. And it actually just allows you to play right through hand traps. So if you chain block Tour Guide, you're gonna plus so much where Nibiru doesn't even hurt at that point.
Cool thing about Kagamucha Knight is that it is a level 3 as well, which does synergize with a lot of your combos, right?
Yeah. So just the fact that it is a level 3 makes you get quick access to Cherubini, which is really, really nice. Yeah. So this is my favorite actual engine in the deck. For personally, it just allows you to play through a lot as well. So yeah. That's it for the Tour Guide engine, if you want to call it. Here's for the PKs. We go 1 Graph, 1 Seer, 1 Libic. These cards are all special in their own way. Graph, dump it off of Cherubini, you get a free summon with Seer. Seer, when it's linked off, or anything when it's sent to grave, you just get that free special summon, and that will lead you to your Appaloosa. And the Libic is only if you really have a cloggy hand. Libic can actually get you a free like Tour Guide on board if you're ready to use your normal summon, so it is really nice. I would maybe run Farfa or Second Seer because they do help you play through boards and play late game as well. So now for my favorite actual like non-important extenders are the dangerous. These guys really, really help through Nibiru because it guarantees a Dragoon. If you get these on the board, well, after the Nibiru, you're getting a Dragoon. So these cards are just really strong, and they give you that extra draw one, so you guarantee that Dragoon negate as well. These cards are really, really nice. People cut the Jack just because of that probability of them opening Jack and Such, but that is so improbable that even if it does happen, you still get an insane amount of value if you open both of them because they're just 2 free extenders. And worst case scenario, they hit a Jackalope. It happens, but the fact is that it's not something you need to be worrying about when the mathematical probability is so low. But yeah, so these 2 are really, really good in this deck. Next, 1 Wielder and 1 Tracker. These cards are another just free special summon. What's good about these guys is that they special summon themselves without activating. So For example, if you're under window, if your opponent has the ability to summon window, you can just special summon these guys instantly without them having the chance to activate in response to it, with a card like Schism or something like that. So yeah, that's why we really like Tracker. It is really nice. And also Wielder, again, they both do the same thing. We just don't run more than one just because there are once per turn. But yeah, moving on. For the hand traps, we only run 3. We only run Triple Ash, and we have a reason. So this is the best hand trap, in my opinion, in the game, and I think most people agree. It's good going first, good going second, and also the most important part about it is it's a level 3. So you open this, and a Wielder, you open this, and a Danger, you can actually just go full combo because this card is level 3, which is actually insane. So, then we run the Dragoon package. Again, this is probably not mandatory for the deck, but it is really nice to have. So having the ability to summon Dragoon in this deck gives you that extra pressure that you usually wouldn't have, and also allows you to play completely through Nibiru. It's leaving them usually with a 3-card or 4-card hand on their opening turn, which is actually insane. But yeah, this is cuttable. If you have Dropless but you don't have Dragoon, you can actually just quick swap it. But there's actually the budget option to swap in for these would actually be running in triple Ghost Spells or any other hand trap. Ghost Spells, even if you are like really on the budget scale, you can go Effect Veiler because it isn't that bad right now. Nibirus are also really good. But the only reason I like Ghost Spells is because again it's a level 3 and it is the best of the other Ghost Sisters. But yeah, so I think if you don't have these, the best swap in is definitely the Ghost Spells. Also, some cool tech you can do is with E-Tully and Ghost Ogre. If you really want to get spicy, I don't really like it. But yeah, this is just kind of the package that I prefer to go for. Then we go for basically our one of spells. And let's go individually and I'll explain them. So first, Foolish Barrel, best card in the deck. I'm not even gonna, this card just literally makes every card in your deck live. You need any card in the deck, you activate Foolish. So yeah, really important. Monster Reborn, it instantly plays through Nibiru, and you can get the Bardiche back on board, get the Send, because they're usually Nibiruing you before you activate that effect. Call by the Grave, you see this, you just win. This is actually the most free dub ever. Rhoda, this card for some reason is glued to my hand. Free Torrent Skills, free Kagamucha Knight to Chain Block. So it is really nice. And then lastly, the Rank Up Magic. We are still running the Rebellion because it is broken. And we are still running the Requiem broken. The card's nuts. It's a busted Dolka, really. Anyways, moving on. Now we have the traps. So now we have like the cards that make our deck actually difficult to play through. Triple Breaksword. This card is really nice for you budget players. It's getting reprinted as an ultra rare in Ghost from the Past, which is really nice. 1 Wing and 1 Brigadine. So again, I think these 3 are explainable. They are basically just a free summon, and that is really nice. And they are also free negates. For these guys, this guy is a free summon, right? You just dump it with Torrent Skills. You dump it out of hand. It unclogs your boards as well because you can just get that free monster back. Also, next we have the Brigadine, because Brigadine is a level 4 extender that's really free, and sometimes you actually need to make that play, or else you're actually gonna have to sacrifice some of the negates on board if you don't have Brigadine. So this is cuttable though because it isn't something you're always going into, but it is really nice to have. Next we have the extra deck. So yeah, main deck is 41 cards. If you guys don't know something about me, I run 41 cards in pretty much every deck I can. That's just something I do. But yeah, if you want to cut a card, I definitely recommend cutting the Brigadine. This is definitely the card you cut. But moving on, we've got the extra deck, which is obviously where the power of this deck comes from. We've got 1 Cherubini. Cherubini, this card's nuts. It sends for cost, which is actually ridiculous, really, if you guys don't know. This is stupid. It sends for cost, which is busted. We got Bardiche. Bardiche is really good. It sets your PK cards and it just gets you free value. Appaloosa. This card's also very busted. Appaloosa basically just allows you to make game states where it's unplayable for your opponent, which is really important. Access code. You need this card to game people. If you really don't have this card, you need to probably include a Boral Sword instead. It's just Boral Sword is much harder to make in this deck than Access Code. Access Code is extremely easy to make, and it makes you so you can set up pretty easy boards. That's it for our Link monsters of the Dragoon package, obviously. I just run the ones that are going to be high impact, and I'm not going for the IP, I'm not going for the Phoenix, I'm not going for the Unicorn, because they just don't do anything, unfortunately. Now we have the XYZs, or XCs. This is my favorite part of the deck, obviously. We got the double Break Sword. So yeah, this card, I think our fellow Bar here has experienced too many occasions where I'm popping his back row with Break Sword and Bardiche and just clearing his whole back row, because it gives you just free value, and it also pops itself to plus. You can get 3 pops in one turn just because you run 2 copies of this card, which is nuts. And also, including Access Code, you can have, I think, up to 6 pops realistically in a turn. And even if you have Dragoon too, there's more pops. This deck has an immense amount of clearing potential. Next, for our one of level rank 3, we have a Levier. This card is basically it allows you to grab back your cloak after being banished, setting it to defense, or setting itself to defense to boost your Bardiche by with some attack, and it basically makes it just a little bit harder to get over. Nice card. This card's a really good extender. Then we have my favorite package is, so we have the Rebellion, the Requiem. These two set up immense amount of negates. This is 3 negates and destroys, not once per turn, and also it interrupts your opponent even more because it summons a Break Sword from grave. It doesn't specifically say that, but it summons a Dark XYZ, which is going to be a Break Sword. And if you guys don't know, on your opponent's turn, you summon a Break Sword to the zone that Bardiche points to, and you can basically just pop a card on the field for free. So yeah, this card is really nice. Also looks great. Came as an ulti in the new OTS pack. Moving on, we have the Raiders Knight and Arc Rebellion. So, if you guys don't know, this card is an OTK machine. Your opponent has Dragoon, you slap this bad boy in the field, you gain 3k attack for free, attack over anything you want. This card's effective, you guys don't know, it can't be destroyed by card effects, and on top of that, it negates all effects on the field, and since it has Raiders Knight equipped, or not equipped, that's an extra Z material, it basically just gains all the attack, negates all effects. This card is nuts. It does too much. It's actually ridiculous for OTKs. Then we have Zeus. You're playing a XYZ based deck. You really need to run Zeus. Like, actually, I wouldn't say you really need to. It's just a really nice option. Because in some of those back row decks, you just summon a Zeus, clear their board, and then make phase 2 make another board on top of it. Which is really nice. This card's actually sometimes disgusting. But yeah, Zeus is actually very cuttable. If you want to run a generic card like Phoenix, this is what you cut. Because this card does come up the least. And then for the last package, we have the Link Spider, Anaconda, and Dragoon. We are running Link Spider just because it is the easiest way to get to Dragoon without having to run anything else. And some people think it's not necessary, but I've gotten Nibiru too many times to be like, yeah, you have to run Link Spider. Link Spider is really like too important, and then it just makes this game state where your opponent can't play because Dragoon is just that strong. Really, the only out they have, and really like the outs that people have, are Triple Tactics Talent, steal the card, then it becomes a problem. Other than that, this card is just an absolute powerhouse, really. But yeah, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Thank you so much for watching. Once again, as Mateo said, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, be sure to smash the like button and comment down below. Once again, which engine do you guys think is the best engine to run in PK Fire? As Mateo said, he thinks it's Tour Guide, but let me know in the comments. And of course, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Once again, thanks for Mateo for coming onto the channel once again. Alright guys, peace.